I loved Keep It in the Family. I watched all of those when they went out originally. How much did you enjoy doing that show?
Well, in the end, I was very pleased that, having done something for which I was reasonably well recognized, which is making people laugh,
yeah,
that somebody thought they could risk me fronting a series. So it was, I mean, I was very pleased about that. You know, so that was really nice. It was kind of a reward for quite a long service in the army. I mean, the way it happened was that I was in various episodes of some of them were written by Brian and Johnny Mortimer, and I was on a Robin's Nest when Brian said to me, "How do you feel about fronting a series?" So I said, "Don't mind at all," and so he came up with this character.
You had Glyn Houston on there as well. I mean, what a great actor. And Pauline Yates is your wife, and you had those two great daughters. Well, I know there was Jenny Quayle. Sabrina Franklin later replaced her, didn't she? Stacey Dornan. And of course, their parents were in the profession as well, weren't they?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They were all descended. I mean, I once met Anthony Quayle at the BBC. Yeah. I tell this story in the book. He was one of the greats of the Royal Shakespeare Company, one of the great founding members, as well as an actor. And he directed a lot. And there's a story that one day there was an actor in difficulties playing a very substantial role. And he said, "Anthony, Tony, really, I'm having trouble with this. I need help, please. I mean, you've been watching me now for several weeks now, trying to get this right. What is it? Where am I going? What should I do?" Pause. New bread. That was what is that. Now that is a typical theatre story.
Yeah.
That the director would come up to you, you're in trouble, and he says something as obscure and God knows what, how helpful. And so we had a very interesting conversation, because Anthony Quayle played Aaron the Moor in a Shakespeare play, who's black.
Yeah.
And he blacked up for it.
Yeah.
And the conversation we had mainly was, will a white actor ever be able to play those parts again, including Othello? So it was a very interesting actorish conversation.
Yeah.
Because he was an absolute pillar of the RSC. But when I told him the story about his directorial genius, he said, "Well, I may have said that, but I don't remember it."
I mean, how much of yourself was Dudley in Keep It in the Family then? Did you actually put a lot of yourself into that character?
Well, you ask a very leading question there.
Yeah.
I got this part and I started working on it, and in a way I panicked.
Yeah.
Because I thought, who is this? And I said, and I went through a phase of saying, I don't know, how do I play this? How do I play this? And in fact, I turned to my partner, Anna, and said, well, what do I do with this part?
Yeah.
She said, well, it's you.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean? The thing is, you see, I had never before, in all my career, even at drama school, played myself. So I didn't know who I was on stage. I could play all kinds of other people with this and that peculiarity or whatever, emphasis and whatever, right up to very old men and whatever. I even played a 15-year-old boy at the Vic. I was Fleance in Macbeth.
Yeah.
But I never played myself.
Yeah.
So I said, how do I play myself? And in fact, the author, I mean, Brian Cook said, it's you.
Yeah.
And so I started to practice being me
with
those lines.
Yeah.
And it was I mean, there was 10 minutes of rockiness. I remember on the first episode, I thought, I just come on and, I'm me. And I mean, Brian described me as a manic depressive, or this character.
Yeah.
That's what he saw in me. I think he means, I didn't think I was quite that. But as you say, I was up and down.
Yeah.
I was, quite excitable and
Yeah.
fanciful at
Yes.
times. So he spotted that. And it didn't take that long. But at first, almost if you watch episode 1, I think just for a few minutes, there's a sort of uncertainty there. And then very steadily, I think, especially as the laughs begin to come. And I just thought, well, just me at a party, me anywhere, me socially. But it was extraordinarily, it was difficult through rehearsal and before I got in front of an audience, because I just didn't know what I was.
No, but it was a success. I mean, it went on for something like 5 series, didn't it? It was. Well,
I mean, our director Mark Stewart said later on, he said, because it kept being brought back.
Yeah.
And he said, isn't telly funny? He says, you'll be doing this in 10 years' time, and you'll all be the same age. Again, I describe in the book, fate intervened. And Stewart, who's a great director, saw an opportunity and left us. And then, unfortunately, Brian Cook had stopped writing them. So I'm afraid, and then the writing became steadily less and less good. Because while Brian was writing them, it worked very well.
Yeah.
And then it worked quite a while after that with people, because he was vetting the scripts. But then gradually they became just ordinary. And by series 5, we got a new director who hadn't a clue about sitcom. And we did that thing that I absolutely dread, which I also describe in the book, which is we started to actors sitting down, rewriting text.
Yeah.
Unless you're all writers like Peter Jones, who could do that, because he was a writer, it was a disaster.
Yeah.
So we cobbled together, enough. But Pauline had gone because she felt that she wasn't featured enough.
Yeah.
So I think if Mark Stewart had stayed with us, we'd have run for another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But because he left, that was the end.